and Patrick live. Patrick and I are two proud online business owners, and because the online business has done so much to each of us in terms of transformation and changing our lives, and we know it has for so many other people as well. With these interviews, we aim to bring these stories of transformation to you, and we are proud to have Gintare, our dear friend, in the hot seat today.
Hey!
Patrick, we will start with the first question very soon, as you know, but Gintare, would you please give us a very quick introduction as to who you are, where you're from, and well, that's basically it.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. It's truly my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. And so my name is Gintare. I come originally from Lithuania, and now I am 27 years old. I sometimes forget how old I am.
How young you are.
How young, yeah, 27.
But that's about it. And I've got quite a big journey in those 27 years. So, but I'm happy about that. That's how I am.
Okay, you live now in the UK, eh? In London?
Yes, now I live in UK. Sorry, I forgot to tell that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just to get started, first questions. You're now online marketer, but what kind of job did you have before you did this online marketing?
So before I joined SFM, I was real estate agent for one of the biggest companies in London. And I actually did my full-time job, which was 72 hours per week, together with SFM for 1 year. So it wasn't that straight away I quit my job and started doing SFM full-time because I just wanted, I needed some money to support my family, myself, and pay my bills and pay for my education, I guess, and for everything what I needed. So yeah, so I kept my job on the side, and then I was really trying to manage my time and do SFM and study at the same time.
Okay, so yeah, there was a very busy time then. If you worked and studied.
Yes, it was really challenging, but I would say I always knew why I want to do that. So let's say my day looked like, so most of the people probably work like 40 hours per week. I had almost double of that, but I was very smart with my hours. So I would wake up earlier. I would go to sleep try to go to sleep quite early as well, at around 11ish, sometimes earlier if I felt tired. But I would wake up at some point 4 o'clock, some point 6 o'clock, and then study SFM for a couple of hours, then go to work. And then during my lunch break as well, I would go to some cafe where I could take my laptop, watch some videos while eating, and really do a little bit of work. Let's say if I had a viewing booked and my buyers were late, I always had my phone and headphones where I would join in wake-up calls or some kind of video tutorial as well. So I literally used every moment I have to really, move forwards, because I really wanted to get out of that rat race where I'm working 72 hours. I have no time for my, for my family at that time. And I just felt, this constant lack of time, not enough holidays per year. I was passionate about traveling, and I just couldn't travel as much as I wanted. That was the biggest reason for me why I should find time to learn this and actually do this, just so later on I can have all the time in the world and I can manage my time myself. I can have that freedom. That was really important for me.
Thank you.
I
Great.
heavily resonate with your story. I this week moved to a different country because all the possibilities that an online business have to offer, and I'm coming to every one of you from Barcelona. So I completely know what you mean by what you say about wanting to travel and be with your family or the people that you love. Yeah, I'm happy that you were able to do the same.
Yes, I'm truly excited, and from the bottom of my heart, I would say that's the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Yeah. So on that point, this is a perfect bridge to the next question. Can you mention a moment that felt truly magical to you, looking back at your journey in the last 2 or maybe even 3 years?
Yes, I could. And that was for me, you know, when I started this journey, I had all these expectations and I was impatient. I was ready to do whatever it takes, you know, to get there, but I didn't know what it will take. So I was like thinking it will come quicker. And I was a little bit worried when I was going, in my opinion, too slowly. And, you know, but the but because when I truly felt really bad and anxious, I reached out to the community, to Frank and Jill, our beautiful souls of the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, I don't know if I can do this. You know, I'm not sure if I'm good enough. Like, I'm going so slowly, and everything else. And they said, that's just a bullshit in your head. Look at you. Look how, you know, who you are, how much value you've got. They helped me to find that. And they told me to engage with the community more, because they were the first ones that I reached out, really, within like 3 months that I was there. And that moment for me, when I truly reached out to the community, I built my now lifetime friendships. Like, one of the best friends, Rick, I actually met in one of the events that I came, where I was like so scared to go to that event. But that friendship that I made actually was my major influence to my success, because he was always supporting me. We were always helping each other because we had different skills. So we could support each other in the areas where we find it difficult, because it's never one person finds everything difficult. You know, one person is better at one thing, other one another one. And I would say the moment where I felt I'm strong enough and good enough, and if I lack some knowledge, I will gain that. That strength, when I gained that belief, doesn't matter how long it takes, I will get there. And I think I dropped those, you know, that urgency, because at first I was like 3 months, or, you know, maybe 2 months, I don't know, maybe I will be able to quit my job. I want to quit my job. And then finally, when I let it go, I really let it go. I just started doing the job every day consistently, seeing my picture, knowing that it will come if I do the job, if I follow the steps. I was just following the steps. And then after a year, it really was that I wasn't that much anymore like, oh, I just can't go to my job or whatever. I just looked at it as supporting me throughout my journey. And I was grateful to have it. And I looked at everything and I saw that I can actually quit my job. And that was the moment for me where, you know, it was truly like, because I was enjoying the journey at that time. So I think that's the biggest gift, when you learn to enjoy your journey, lose those, you know, urgent expectations, just do what you need to do, follow the steps. And when you get that gift, it's truly amazing. But it's all about the journey. It's not about the result usually. So yes.
Beautiful. Yeah, totally resonate with what you're telling about. If sometimes you want to have results,
Yes.
but you have to just follow the steps and let go, and yeah, what you're telling, enjoying the journey, and then magic things happens, and yeah, it's really yeah, resonate with that. Thank you.
Because, you know, when you achieve the result, it's usually you achieve it and you think, oh, what's next? What's next goal?
Yeah.
Like, it's truly about the journey, and then those results will change, but it's who you become throughout the journey. And
that's true, because you can have your first lead, but then you want your first app sale, but if you don't enjoy the journey, then there's nothing to it.
You will never be happy.
No.
Even when you can quit your job, you will think, oh, when I earn my first million, you know, like it will always then billion, whatever. You will never be happy if that's like that, if you look like that.
Thank you. Now we have talked now a little bit about, but what can you also tell me, what has SFM enabled you to do now in your life? Because you've quit your job. What things have you now done?
Yeah, so my dream was always to travel around the world. So let's say just this year, it's now what, April now.
Yeah.
And since January, we went to Amsterdam, we went to...
I love how you pronounce that in a Dutch way.
Yeah.
Really?
Very nice.
So we went to Amsterdam, to New York, we went to Scotland, we had lots of activities, and we can do it when it's not crowded, not weekends, we can do it on a weekday, which is amazing. But the most fulfilling thing is, of course, SFM also gave me partner, so I found my partner, who I definitely didn't expect to find within SFM, the greatest partner I could ever want, the greatest leader, which I'm truly grateful for. And then also he has twins, and what we can do, we can always participate in their life with when they learn something new, when they have new experiences, we can be there because we don't need to go to work. So we don't get me wrong, we still do a little bit of work, but we choose when we do that. So it's truly a difference when you want to participate in some important event in someone that you love life, and you can't. That's truly, I think, painful, at least for me. I always want to, even we are working together, so it's really nice. We are constantly experiencing things together, and I think strong relationship also happens when you actually, you don't go too far away from each other, just so you don't start living separate lives,
Yeah.
But that's another topic. So SFM gave me literally the freedom that I always wanted. So the freedom to travel around the world. I'm now, just next week, I'm actually going to Dominican Republic, which I would never expect I would have so many holidays in 1 year. And the difference between those holidays is that now when I go to holidays, I don't need to be anxious that I come back and I will need to go back into that daily grind. And that I will need to wait for another holidays, because now I make decisions. So I don't live somewhere warm because I want to stay with, my partner's kids, and they're living with his mom part-time with us. So it's really nice for us to be next to them. But it's really nice also to have an opportunity to travel around the world. So this is one thing. Then, it enabled me to grow whenever I want, to have enough time to grow, to do the things that I love, and spend time with the people that I love.
So,
wow.
Wow.
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, that's amazing. Of course, you found your partner, and you're now traveling the world together, and that's amazing. Yeah. Good stuff.
My expectations were nowhere to be like that,
No.
I don't even mention now probably what my true expectations were, to gain knowledge, to gain skills, everything that came, of course, but these were like extra things that came on top of that.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds like you're living the dream. So, Gintare, the next question for you is, what was in your journey within the SFM the biggest step you had to take, the biggest fear that you have had to overcome? And could you maybe also, whilst you're elaborating on that, give a little bit of advice now that you've experienced this big step as to how people could or should reply or respond to fear and how they can overcome it? It's a huge question, I'm sorry, but
no, I'm just thinking how to correctly answer that, because I wasn't that much scared, but I was constantly having this feeling of that I'm not good enough. So it's kind of a fear, that maybe I'm not good enough. But then I dug deeper into that, and I noticed how I was talking to myself, and I was constantly bullying myself. I was constantly talking really not nicely. So if my friend was talking to me like that, I would never have that friend. But why I was talking. So my biggest advice would be probably just to really be open-minded and, try to be your best friend. And your best friend would, if that person is clever, they would never stop you from doing something new. True friends, sometimes they do try to stop you from changes, but true friends should understand that you are growing as a personality, and if that's what your heart is leaning towards now, you should go for that. So that's the same. Don't stop yourself, and also don't bully yourself. And I would say, like, try to love yourself and encourage. And we will always have some doubts. We cannot be certain about anything. But if you don't try, but if you don't try, you will never know. So I would say, like, take the steps step by step. Don't try to go ahead of the journey too much. But if those steps make sense, until they make sense, then just go. And you might be surprised with the results that come from little things gathering together.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, that's I think also what I've learned from being in this community, that you should lean into the fear, and some people even say follow the fear, because that's exactly how you will grow. And yeah, as long as you want, you will find a way, and then you can choose love over fear, because that's really the only two choices that we have. You choose love, or if you don't dare to choose for what you love to do, it's mostly an anxiety and a fear that's holding you back.
Yes.
So that simplifies all the emotions that you're going through when you're taking a big step. And yeah, I can totally understand what you mean by that.
Yeah, and I guess, like, when you are within this community, you see so many people who are going through the same journey. So that fear becomes a little bit smaller, because you see everyone, and you can constantly get advice. You can constantly ask them and gather the data as well from their experience. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you will do the same like they did, but if you spoke to like 10 members and they all did the same and achieved the same, you can think that there is a high chance I will do the same. So I think it's really, really helpful to have this community here, to help you overcome your fears and doubts and your bad words for yourself, because they help you to become more confident person, really.
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, thank you. Next questions. In the community, of a lot of people read books, of course. Maybe do you have one? Can you mention one particular book that you can recommend to read?
I have so many.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know.
The latest one that I read and I truly, truly loved was Gary Vaynerchuk, Crushing It. So that's more about social media marketing.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily only mindset, but if that was about mindset, now for some I read loads of books, but one more that comes to my mind is Simon Sinek's Start with Why, because I think that's truly important for your mindset, to know why you're doing everything, and to start your business with knowing your clear why and your passion, just so you never need to feel like you're actually working. Because if you're doing something that you're passionate about and that's your core why, that will be very easy for you. So these are two examples for me. One mindset wise, one really strategic.
Strategic for business. Yeah. For me, yeah. These are the two major how do you call that? Major things. Mindset. First, you have the mindset. You have to be passionate, because otherwise you will struggle sometimes with technical things. But if you're passionate about it, you will overcome everything and you will continue. That's what I
It's a very
experienced.
good point, Patrick, what you said, because it's equal. And I just, not so long ago, I did a training, and it's so important to never have like only mindset training or only strategic training. Both of them are equally needed. And if you just lose the balance on one of them, you will see you will not be either happy or you will not be successful. It just like that. So crucial to work on both.
On both, yeah. Develop your skills, technical skills, and also, but your mindset has to be clear and
That's definitely something I think the SFM is extremely good at. The fact that they understand that you need to build yourself as a person together with your business. The one will not grow without the other. It always goes together. And if your business grows, you have more room and money to grow yourself. And if you grow yourself, you're more tactical and more confident within your business. And that's definitely the case in an online business world where you are a digital marketer and you have to put yourself out there and really bring yourself to the table. Otherwise, you're just copying people, and that's just not going to work. So yeah, that's a really good point in our area of business, I feel. Yeah. So,
but you also were the first person who mentioned the social media training book, because a lot of people mentioned books for mindset, of course, but it's also nice to hear this part, because it wasn't mentioned in our first interviews.
Because I mentioned that I read loads of books, that was the book that I was really impressed with. So that's why it kind of came to my mind. It's my top book at the moment in regards to marketing. So yes.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet, so maybe I will.
Yeah. Also.
It's time for the final question, Gintare. What are you doing in 6 months from now? Where do you see yourself?
I see myself stepping up more like a leader. So even now I do trainings for the community, for our customers. So I would like to see myself as a consultant, professional consultant, and truly stepping up in the teaching role, I would say. Not necessarily only teaching strategic things, but also leading people, helping them to find their way and helping them to find their dream life.
Any ideas as to how you see yourself do that? Is that within the SFM? Is there a position you admire to have, or is there something you know is going to come up because you now only have a couple of things that you would love to see in that role, and it will show up once the time is ready?
Yeah, I think I keep my mind open. I do have a plan, so I don't say that, nothing is working, but I'm constantly open-minded. So if some kind of offer comes up, I might consider that. But in the meantime, me and my partner, we will be strategically working towards creating our own brand. And, and so that's, I think, the next step with the SFM. At first, they give you the products that you sell, which is really easy. You learn marketing, you gain your skills, and then you also develop as personality all the time. So you can more find your true passion, your true mission, your true vision, where after that, your brand development happens. And then maybe when you feel confident enough, you can become that leader and you can create your own brand that you're passionate about. And I'm not saying I will still do SFM. That's amazing, like that's really enables me to do what I want. So why I'm doing these extra things is just because that's what I'm passionate about. I don't like sitting on the beach and sipping margaritas, because that's not who I am. I love growing, and for me this is all about, and this is the area where I will be growing at.
Lovely.
Nice.
I can't wait to see what you're about to bring to the world, and I'm happy to call you my friend, and I know we're gonna do awesome stuff in the future, and I want to wish you all the best of luck with everything that you still want to do in your life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's really nice to be here.
And I'm super
my favorite. I love Dutch people in general.
Thank you very much.
That's points, Gintare. That's points for you right there.
Thanks, Jin. Thank you very much for this amazing story, and a very big transformation, of course, what happened in your life, stepping in SFM. It's amazing. Thank you.
Thanks for all you do, and thanks for your time again. And for everybody watching this, we hope to see you with the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.